I just want to know. I'm back, you all. I thought my daughter was upstairs hollering and upset. She was playing a video on her phone, and I'm like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" I was watching a video. You should have just texted me. You know what? I think they know about the life insurance. That's what I think. They they know you work more dead than you are alive, to them anyway. And they're like, yeah, let's just go ahead and kill her. Okay, thanks. But anyways, so we're back. I thought that I was having to tend to my child, but she was watching a video. Wonderful. Hey, Sterling. Sterling owns is the Sterling Fox, the Crystal Fox in Laurel, Maryland. Oh, it is an amazing store. There's just everything is there everywhere. And I think there's like this gigantic amethyst the size of me there. Yeah, so stop by his store. Earlier, if you guys weren't on, I was telling you guys about my besties, Body Butters. Wait, you know what, Shadow? Now I'm getting low battery because I've been on here so long, messing around with you, and these things that she's like, we're gonna get these things, and then we get them, and sometimes they're not as simple as they seem. But let me get a power cord. Shadow is currently, I wish I could put these on pause. Dear, I did a wonderful video before this about your butters. I tagged you in it. And now, Shadow, did you take that apart? I think I'm going to delete this. Okay, y'all. So check this out. We got this sensor, you take it and you do your incense with this, like in the church, and ideally when you hold this thing on the chain, it's to be level, and it is not to tilt either way. Although there's this really cool mechanism in here that helps hold down, like if you've got a piece of charcoal in it. So as you're swinging, it's kind of something that's not going to make it like jump right up out of the sensor, but somehow, some way, the cord got tangled. So let me show you this. And I was about to say, oh, we're not gonna put this on the website. I don't know if I put it on. Did I put it on there yet?
No.
Okay, but I wasn't going to if they were garbage and we were gonna have to send them back. Now watch me mess this up again.
I fixed it.
But you fixed it. But I still have to turn it over, which would, for a clumsy person like me, for a clumsy person like me, I'll fuck around and put a knot in it again. So let's just make sure that we're doing R&D live. Now, we'll see what I did. What in the fuck did I do?
Give it back.
Okay, this is, okay, wait, maybe. Did I fix it? See? This is not for the amateur. Oh, I fixed it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm an amateur. I'm an amateur, okay. But, things of beauty like this, do you ever always get disappointed when you realize how incredibly fucking difficult they are? It's like click-clacks ain't this big of a problem. I can click-clack all day long. I can't use them little finger, what do you call those? Symbols. I can't use them. So anyways, there you go. And it's got a nice weight that's sitting on top of it inside, which your charcoal disc would be there in the bottom. And then whatever herbs, roots, resins you have. So we bought some extras. We figured we'd sell some. We put these in our home blessing kits, but we figured we'd have a few extras, and they were a really reasonable price. So we bought some extra ones, and it just took a little bit, because I don't know how that chain got twisted, but I can see myself walking through the house swinging this now.
And that's good for your resins, your condensate.
Well, here, keep talking to them while I go. You couldn't just dangle this in front of the camera. Well, I go and get a power plug because it's about to be show over.
But you put your sand, your charcoal, your resin, and I like the resins for these because they smoke really well. And then you can
Yeah.
smudge your house with it.
You don't even need a root in there. If you just got frankincense and myrrh and
right.
What would you use? I like dragon's blood would be protection, but
I like
cleansing.
You can do dragon's
but
blood.
cleansing coming in would be more copal, right?
Copal, frankincense.
Yeah, copal and frankincense, and just use those. You know, I just remember. Let me put this power cord on, you guys. Sorry about that. I just remember, like, the first time ever realizing that there was something other than these sticks and these cones, you know? And the one thing is you can get spoiled to something, how something you think something's supposed to smell, and then you actually smell. But it could happen in the opposite. For me, it was lavender. All these years of smelling artificial lavender, I was like, oh no, fuck that.
Yeah,
None. I thought lavender was some chemically old lady smell, and then got my hands on some real lavender. And what's really scary, and I don't know if it's this way in all communities, but what I see is as it takes, we have to be of a certain age in the black community to find out about things like that. You know, and it's like, right. And I'm like, you gotta start teaching your kids about this, because I'm sure that other people who follow holistic medicine teach their kids about it. You know, they'll do it to the point where they'll go to jail. You know, no, we don't want any cancer treatment. Isn't that something that you can say, I don't want it, or the child can say they don't want it, and they can make you do it anyway?
Yeah, because they say they know better.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I got a plan for that. Anyways, so back to new products. So we got the sensors. I don't know if they're on the website. I know they're a really reasonable price. I'm sorry, I don't remember. But we also have Dia's butters, which are amazing, and just an excellent value for your money, because I'm buying another one, but I'm not done with this. And I mean, like, I've used it in my hair. When I twist my locks, I use it on my feet. Oh, Lord. Why didn't somebody tell us about that? Because folks want to say, no. Folks always want to say black don't crack. But our feet? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I mean, and
it takes, you got to get older.
Man, but somebody should tell you about that shit. Because I've slept in socks with, you know, my feet enlarged my whole goddamn life if I knew that was going to happen. But it's better than your feet dry than other places, I guess. I don't know. I just know that I have to pay really careful attention to my feet. And then this one elbow. And I've managed to clear it up a little bit, but I don't feel like pulling up both of them. But it's still not perfect, but it had become really dark. And I'm trying to figure out how it got that way. The only thing I can think of is that's where I'm resting my arm if I'm driving.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, all that does that to your skin? Because this elbow didn't have nothing on it. I was like, what is that? And I'm still trying to figure out. I don't work outside the home. I drive at least once a day usually. So I'm wondering how it got to be so rough just in that part. But that's besides the point. I think that one of the reasons why the rest of us don't crack is because we've always known we've got, you know, beautiful melanated skin, but we've also known how to moisturize it. And I mean, we use all kind of damn oil. They use corn oil on you if they didn't have nothing else, you know. I was just like, man, Vaseline, that was for some survival. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
A little bit of everything.
Because, wow, it's like, well, you know, it's just so thick, you know, it's not very, you know, breathable.
Right.
So, I mean, when you put on Vaseline,
you should never, ever strike a match near Vaseline.
Strike a match near Vaseline? What you talking about, Willis?
Somebody was put it on their skin and went to smoke a cigarette.
Oh, I didn't even know that, because I've never put Vaseline, but it's petroleum jelly.
Yeah.
That's probably the last thing you want on your skin. Now, But they thank God they've got these things like these amazing butters, and then for more extreme cases, medical stuff, for cracked skin and feet. I think that's something that you shouldn't play around with in your old age, especially if you've got high blood pressure or sugar. Take care of your feet. So this is part of it, and that's why, and we use these all over our bodies. Like I tell you, I use this from head to toe. I twist my locks with it. I will put it on my face. And my face, I'm like, that's the one thing you worry about, feeling dry when you get old. And since I stopped using a lot of the commercial moisturizers, and when I do run out, I get something real old school that ain't nobody thinking about using no more. So they pretty much have stuck with their original, less ready to kill you recipe, and that's Pond's moisturizer. So when I run out of my serum that Paige makes for me, that's something really old school I'm going to use. I remember some of the stuff my grandmother used, like rose milk and Johnson's foot soak. That's another thing if you've got really rough feet. And so what I do is, to not have really rough feet, I'll do some Johnson's foot soak. I will put some of Lux Good Natural body butters, and this is the Dragon's Blood formula. We can carry other fragrances if you guys want them, but she does not ship during the summer because this is like all natural as you can get, okay? And it will melt. That's proof, like somebody was showing artificial sweeteners. I don't know if they did this with stevia, like leaf stevia yet, but the ants wouldn't touch the artificial stuff, and they only went to the real sugar. It may be that ants just don't like artificial sweeteners, or maybe that shit can kill you. We don't know these things, so they err on the side of caution. So that's all I got, you guys. And the sensor, which, like I said, I'm a spatial idiot, and let me show you the serpentine. I think I've got all the other crystals on this website, right? Yeah, we got a shipment of serpentine today. Shadow, please share with us what serpentine does. Okay, see, anybody here share what serpentine does? I just knew it was like, this is a real cool one. I'm tempted to keep this one for myself.
I like
this is the oddity of it. So, and I thought, somebody might get this and be like, oh, girl, so I think I will keep this one for myself. But we have more. So,
inclusions are good. That's what I always say.
Yes. So, serpentine, and I will find out what it means. I just saw it. It was a very reasonable price and a very beautiful stone. And that's the way I think people should connect with crystals. How it makes them feel when they feel it, hold it, see it. And when I saw them, and there were way more extravagant rocks in the group that I was in, and where I bought these for a really, really good price. There were all sorts of very, very beautiful crystals in that group, but these just struck me. So I'm going to be real happy when I look up what they actually do. I'm really excited because
Kundalini
activation, and sure, what is? I hear about Kundalini. Now I'm a root worker. I don't know about a lot of this stuff. Like I'm like real. I don't know. It's just maybe it was how I was trained.
So it's an earth energy stone, aids in healing of the earth.
But what is Kundalini?
Kundalini is sort of like a parasite. And it supposedly goes up your spine, and you have like a...
I saw that drawing of that thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was really freaky. I read about that last week in that book that I got from the library.
More like a spiritual awakening.
Well, okay, but it's still the balance of, Eric Killmonger and T'Challa, right? I'm trying to pronounce their names. It's kind of like that balance. Is that what it means, kind of?
It's more spiritual awakening type thing,
Okay. Well,
So,
is the correlation kind of like on the opposite ends of maybe the same thing? You know,
that's possible.
because that's what I got from that. Now I'm Black Pantherizing. You know, they wanted the same thing in a way, but you know, and you can't say they want the same thing because T'Challa only wanted it for Wakanda. He was like, fuck those other people. And I'm really always amazed with this, with us, because like when you see other people of other races have movies and there's somebody who is touched, we don't, I don't know, we don't identify with that as much as we do this particular character. So like somebody said, there really was no villain in this, and nobody really
Right.
like won. That is, because you can look at it two different ways.
There's a lot of lessons.
But that's like they planted
movie.
Michael in Good Times, and we talk about this later in the like TV movie about Good Times or whatever, I don't know. And they were talking about how Norman Lear did want to push those revolutionary messages out into the mainstream. And in order for him to do that, he had to send it through the voice of the child. So it was always, the public would not accept James doing it.
Right. He would have been militant.
Right. But this little boy, he's so precocious. But those messages, and people don't understand that. It's the whole thing behind the hype for Black Panther. What is this message? And I don't care what anybody says. Little kids emulate superheroes. Maybe more than they even do their parents. Because they're kids, and kids do that shit. So it is important for them to see, all that girl power. Damn. I mean, it made me wish I'd stayed in shape so I could go take one of them classes. Kind of like when you see a movie with somebody pole dancing, you realize, I want to pole dance. But I want to eat. I like tacos. You ever see that? Jack Black, he's like, I want to be slim, but I want tacos. But it does. It's like, oh my God, I could have practiced martial art. I could have, I could have been great, and I am great, but I'm just saying,
but they also emulated real life African,
right, and
in the movie,
but also
like
really fit. But think about that, really fit women. Beautiful Black people too. We got to think about who we had on TV for us, the women like Florida Evans, and it's like, yes, we get older and we get bigger, a lot of us, but I also know a lot of older people who are very well taken care of because we tend to look a lot younger than we are. And it's just like, I don't know. I liked the fact, but I was a little put off. I actually deleted a person about this because somebody mentioned, hey, there were no thick folks in that movie. Not nobody doing the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of us who are thick, who are doing the damn thing. Because that sister who does them yoga videos.
The older women.
Right, the older women were thick, but they weren't doing nothing. And I think that disturbed people who are larger, who do a whole lot of shit. They always get portrayed as unhealthy, when that's sometimes not the case. I know somebody who was way smaller than me, and her A1C was so fucking high. I was like, how are you on Earth? So some things aren't always what we make them out to be.
Yeah, it's always an exception to the rule. It's always something. And people who can defy that. And
what about imagery that is so important is that they define generations, they define lifetimes, and one thing that I found is I looked at the biggest grossing movies of all time, and I'm going to say like 95% of them are action fantasy movies. And a great deal of them PG. PG-13.
When I want to be entertained, I'm not looking for real life.
Right. Nobody's looking for real life, obviously, because
and most
maybe I didn't even see Titanic on that list.
Most life movies, you depending on your age and the time of it, you saw it on the news. You played it out, and so
right.
my
mother was so angry with me. And one time, I took my mother to the movies in my adult life that we've been since I was a little kid. We used to go to the drive-in all the time and stuff. My mom was crazy. She let me go see Prom Night and Dress to Kill. And I'm telling you, I wasn't but 11 years old, okay? I don't know why my mother thought that was a good idea for me. But I wasn't censored as a child, and I read all kinds of shit growing up. And my fascination with the occult goes back to Audrey Rose and Amityville Horror and The Entity. And I read all those books under the age of 13.
My favorite book was Death Around the World.
Your favorite book was Death Around the World? I was fascinated with death, dying.
If I would have been allowed to dress that way, I probably would have been gothed a lot.
Like people in coffins.
Right.
That fascinates me. I don't like to look at it, but it's like, wow.
But the book was about how to handle burial and death all over the place.
Right. Yes, there was a whole photographic exhibit of that, of these people, but they was, what do you call those mountains where they stuck all the poor Irish folks after they got done using them for slavery? What's the name of that place? Appalachian Mountains. I guarantee you, if they went up there and did the DNA of all those people, I bet you there's a record that takes them back to being on somebody's plantation, which is what the oppressor shows you what they do with anybody, no matter what color you are or whatever color you're perceived to be. Yeah. And we still being treated that way. They treated us worse, and we're still being treated that way.
Especially coal mines. They had mass graves.
Yeah.
Of black people that, when they died, they just push them in a hole.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. They found them in West Virginia.
When they went into the coal mines to mine them?
No, a lot of these areas, they as miners, and
they
then
would
when they die, they would just do mass graves and bury them, get more black people
in the coal mines. So where did that become an occupation for lower class white people, or was it never? Because to me, Hollywood.
I guess after slavery,
Oh yeah, they had them in there. I didn't even know they were digging for coal during slavery.
Digging for coal. The railroads.
Oh, I know about the railroads. But I didn't know they had us down the coal mines. I thought that was what they done to them.
But I guess when slavery was no more, then white people were like, we need jobs.
Yeah, they need good paying jobs, right? Because they no longer had jobs being overseers.
But there are mass graves in West Virginia.
And did you ever notice, like, if you read slave narratives, and that the nastiest, worst overseer was usually the one who was like from the lowest income type of white family, and they hire him particularly because he's so fucked up by that.
Right.
Wrap your head around that for a minute. When we start talking about institutional racism, that started with chattel slavery. They worked that in at the same time, and now continue to get away with the different things that they do. But back to the movie. I really thought it was really awesome. I had some really cool moments. I'm going to definitely watch it again. Yes, there are parts that I could pick apart and choose to be disturbed by, like what I said about big folks. Big folks run too. We run, we fight, And it is funny because there's actually a fat community where they're extremely body positive, and I'm not gonna say your weight or what your size is, but my size is considered small fat. I'm like, wow.
I see myself bigger than that.
I see myself smaller than that. I don't know why. And then I'll look at a picture and I'll be like, I don't look like that, do I? For real? Because I'm just efficient. I just looked a whole lot better than that. That's way I feel about me. I feel like, you camera, you're a lie. You're a bad angle. You're a liar. I look way better than that. I look good. I can see that sexy shit. But really, attractive photography is all about the angles, because you can take a picture of someone with a really nice body and still fuck it up if you don't do it right.
Right.
So, in any case, so we've got the serpentine, and then, you guys, we have a lot of candles. You always ask us for candles. We have chime candles. We have, what do you call those? Votives, with that you could really nice ones to use on top of jar spells. We've got incense. We've got all of my oils are still on sale. Florida water, rose water, lavender water. All of my formulations also come in water. You know, what I'm really wanting to do, and I'm trying to figure out a way to do it, is to really, 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 get my name out more. And so I'm going to be sending sample packs to occult stores around the country, and see, it works here, definitely, in Ohio. You know, people appreciate good handmade Conjure products, especially if the person has people who will vouch for them. You know, either I have orbs on my video. I didn't see orbs, but you know, in this house, they just, they clown, they run around upstairs, we be like, who is up there? And nobody's up there. Yeah, they're special. So, yeah. But, you know, they're nice. They're just, you know, they're just hanging out, doing their thing, you know? I just don't know, because they cannot be any relatives of mine. Because they would be running up and down the hall. Well, maybe now that they're ancestors, they're running up and down my hallways. I don't know. But, you know, getting you back for when you were a kid and you made all that noise, disturbed the hell out of your parents. So, there you go. So, I know that, do you have all the crystal grids over here?
No, this one, I'll grab it out.
Yeah, I've been hand painting wood circles and making them crystal grids. So it's kind of like an old meets the new. And because I actually hate real glitter, I've stained these, and I've used vinyl, which is has the glitter, but you're not really working with the pattern. You're working with the stones on the pattern, but wanted to give it a natural base as possible. And it's like, I kept trying to figure out what way to do it, because I wanted something just a little more natural. I have one that's made out of acrylic. It's really cool. And on the back, it's like a whiteboard surface. So on the back of this, I put a chalkboard surface. So you could put your intent on the back. And these are $15. And they are pretty labor intensive, but it's really cool. And I've learned a lot about working with this type of medium that I can now apply to other things. So, I don't know. We've got the 8-coin tarot up on the website. Some just came in. I got my deck. It's gorgeous. I was gonna review it at some point. And I didn't put those crystal pendants up. Gonna get ready to do that. How much are those supposed to be? The crystal pendants, like $7?
I believe so.
Yeah, $7. Because we don't have a chain to go on it. You can get your own and, you know, have it at the length you want. Also, it's pretty economical. I like buying pendants rather than spending just for the pendant, because I can use the same chain. I can go get a really nice, real silver chain and use it with whatever pendant I want, you know. So that's the way I would kind of.
Like cords.
Yeah, I got tired of cords. I like some chain. I'm from the west side of Chicago. We like chains. Oh man, I don't know if you all were like this, but west side, speak out. You know, in the 80s, I mean, the more chains you had wrapped around your neck, the better you were. So I just like chains. Is it Florida? Yeah. So a new bottle of Florida water. This is our mini bottle of water, and that's 1.7 ounces. And you know what? We need to start making that diffuser and atomizer available for the waters too.
Yeah.
Because we have a little
Honestly.
purse spray and a little squeegee thing that you can buy for $1.50, and you can. But this is the purse model, so you can have it with you at all times. Because sometimes you walk into some situations and you come out feeling really kind of some kind of way, kind of funky.
You at work, people ain't acting right.
Right.
Like
People aren't acting right. You can put it in your own atomizer if you want to, strain out the roots. So let it sit up for at least a month, and then straight out the roots, and then put it in an atomizer. Because look, I use it in the bathroom. Now I have the fake one down here, the mass marketed one, because I was just curious about that. But upstairs in my bathroom,
you got the real
I got real Florida water. I'm like, get thee behind me, Satan. I'm like, oh God, I'm offended. So, yes, but you can use these for everything. I am not making any douche because they being funny. This person has to be. She said, laughing my black ass off. I'm not making any douche. I even use regular douche. So no, I don't even know why they told our parents that that was acceptable. My mother used to use Benadine. Ah. That's why she's gone now. 57, gone. For lots of reasons. But come on. It's like shooting poison straight up your cooch. I'm just like, so yeah, maybe that's made me just like way more careful and cautious, you know. I keep trying to tell people that everything natural and good for you, poison ivy is natural. Arsenic's natural. Henbane, natural. Shit. There's a lot of stuff that can kill you, okay? And
we just have to learn how to work with it.
Yes. Well, the thing is that's what always surprised me about why more people didn't poison slave masters. I guess maybe somebody did it in the neighborhood, and it might have been mental conditioning, but I'm thinking some self-preservation. I don't want us always in that position of fear. But you got to think about this. These motherfuckers kill every white person on the plantation, and they take off. They coming for them.
Yeah.
Lots of them are coming for them. You know, it's better to just get off the island one by one. Because that's the only reason why I could think that they wouldn't just kill them all. And I mean, some of these folks, you could slow poison them though. And I don't understand why people didn't like employ that more. Or maybe they did and we just didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Well, we knew about it when they were doing it to us. I mean, but I'm talking about to them.
Yeah.
But I just, that's the one thing, because the root worker that I am, I'm going to make some shit that he walks through. Okay? You know, put some shit in the mop water that leaves a residue on the floor for him to walk through that will be soaked up through his feet. That's the type of shit I would have done. But don't be like me. But, you know, if I was a slave, you know, and it's just, you know, people are always saying, oh, but we've come so far and accomplished so much. And just last week, somebody was lynched down south. And I just want to know where that is. I think people make too light of modern day oppression. I don't know. I do know why. Because we've been desensitized to it. Not just white people. White people too. And even the video games. You know, we play Pong. They play Call of Duty. Me and Naja were talking about that the other day. Grand Theft Auto. And I found myself being fascinated, y'all. That's another thing. All these spiritual ching-ching folks, they be on some bullshit. Holier than thou shit. I'm going to give it to you straight. I came into my baby daddy room. This was years ago. She was almost 16 now. But she was a baby. And I remember she was in there. 2 times I had talked to him. Sitting on his lap. And he's playing Grand Theft Auto. And she's like 5, 6 months old. But he just holding her and, you know, doing his thing. I'm like, dude, don't. like do that, because that will, you see it over and over and over again. It don't even have the same fucking impact it did the first time you were all like, oh my God, what the hell is this? Because that's what my mind's saying. But I stood there and I watched it, and I was just like, I'm like, for real? I'm like looking at this shit. I'm like, this is what they doing now? And that was 15 years ago? I'm like, no. And I was like, give me my baby. Don't have her around this shit. But, little kids, especially adolescent men playing this, is there, I know it's
men.
adolescent boys and, and adolescent men. Yeah, I had it right the first time. But it's very disturbing that I watch these, like, that's like Shadow can tell you when she over here, or Trinity in the living room, which is right off the, we got, with this open floor plan, but I do have a wall and a door between my dining room, but I can still shut that door and be listening to the crazy shit that they be watching on TV. And as an empath, I can't do that. I'm like, you gonna have to turn that down. I don't want to hear nobody getting shut up, squealing in pain, being tortured, kidnapped. That's why I had to stop watching Scandal. I was just in it for the drama. I was just in it for all of the relationship
every
shit.
So often, depending on the show, it gets too much. And it's
but when Huck killed all the people on that bus, that's how long it's been since I watched Scandal. I was just like, see, no, no. Now when somebody who I can really consider to be such a really good guy, like his character, to see him also that's so very wrong and know that he was programmed by the government to do so, it's not something you want to watch. And it was just like that was Black Panther spoiler. That's the way it was explained in Black Panther. Well, we trained him. CIA, assassin, several tours in Iraq or whatever. And like, oh, so you made this motherfucking monster. Okay.
And that's what they do.
That's exactly what they do. And that the dehumanizing, the desensitization. So that's why I'm like, I want to urge Black people to be more sensitive. Because we've had to, and I get it. And now I understand where a lot of people are like, well, they act all hard. You know what I'm saying? We invented hard. You goddamn right. Because you're living in constant trauma. So you're constantly shielding yourself from the bullshit. So, and your bullshit meter gets really, really, really good. But with each other, I think that, especially in our personal relationships, that we are going to have to really learn how to be softer with each other. I remember that was one of Beyonce's lyrics, and I kept thinking about that. I tried to be softer, and how we are always looked at as hard.
Or the stereotype of the angry black
woman. That's basically.
You piss me off, and then you.
Yeah, you make me angry, and then you talk about me for being angry. I have every reason in the world to be upset, but you're gonna then label me because I'm upset. Welcome to Bizarro World. But you know what? I'm starting to think that's the way this has always been, and I don't know if it's ever going to change. So at that point, you still want to keep up with your social activism and don't take no shit. But also at another point, okay, we gotta keep living. Because I remember the day after Trump was elected, I wasn't leaving the house. I was looking at guns. I was looking at guns and holsters. I was looking at, these folks are going to full the fuck-fledged lose their minds, and they have several times. You never know when that's going to happen. And so people are always thinking to me, and I'm like, okay, we came out of slavery. We showed people that we could do the things. It wasn't like we learned how to do the things because we were free. We knew a lot of shit when we were slaves. We ran it. We built it all. We ran it.
And a lot of the inventions to make our lives easier.
Exactly. What for them?
Like the iron and the ironing board and the hair comb.
What's the thing that they used in the cotton gin?
Yeah.
Think about how many black hands that saved. You know, so just like the man who created the blood transfusion, you know, think about, you know, all those hands that were saved by the cotton gin. But they still used our hands. And don't even understand why we want our own country. It's like we don't want no problems. We want a Wakanda. You don't know us.
Yeah.
You don't know us. You don't know what we really about. We ain't never gonna fuck with you. Don't come fuck with us. But it doesn't ever work out like that.
No, it doesn't.
You know, and I'll think about countries like Costa Rica they don't have a military. And I think about different places. Last time I checked, they don't have military. They might have one under Trump. Because anytime you have a military, some other countries paying in to help set you up. That's how that works. And then that's how you get allies. You know, who set you up last. Basically.
But that's how we also got our enemies.
Isn't that how? Did we fight Germany in World War I and II? I thought they were our allies in World War I, but I could be wrong. I remember thinking that, and like, what the fuck?
But it's just like Iran and
Iraq.
Their weapons.
Right.
It's because
we sold them the weapons.
Sold, gave.
Right, because that's right. We gave Iraq the weapons to fight Iran, but we also gave Iran the weapons to fight Afghanistan, right? Or was that how that went?
You know, and then all of a sudden, we're not allies anymore, but
you're killing us with the weaponry we gave you. And I say we very loosely because we ain't had shit to do with that. That's a lovely thing about black people. When Trump got elected, for the most part, we can say we ain't had shit to do with that. You know, 9/11, nope, can't blame that one on us either. Nope, it was a great time to be a black person. They was, you know, but now this guy, he goes after everybody. So there's no safe place in the world, but good God. You know, this is a level of ridiculousness I've never seen. So I hope that like stuff that we do spiritually helps to motivate us to do bigger, better things, to continue on and be unbothered about a lot of this bullshit that they made this monster. They're gonna have to clean it up. You know, I really have a problem because every time I turn around, somebody white, ooh, yeah, that look good. Did you buy another one? Oh my God. I'm not showing that on camera. Should not be eating that. That's a childhood favorite. I bet you some folks can hear from the paper and know what it is. But anyways, I think I'm babbling at this point. Do we have anything else? You guys have any questions? But remember, everything that's natural is not always good for you. And some things that are natural have to be handled in a certain way.
Right.
And all of this modern medicine is nothing but a whole bunch of this compounded. And that's why you have really bad side effects. Yeah, it works stronger and faster, all right. But, you know,
it makes you blind.
Right, it's kind of something, it's something taken out of its natural state and made quite unnatural. Kind of like David Banner, who's a completely competent person, steady as he goes, and the goddamn talk.
Yeah.
you know, and that's in a lot of cases for people, pharmaceutical medicine does that to them. However, don't get it twisted that when you do something and just because it's not a pharmaceutical means it's a good thing. I mean, and I do believe that there are doctors more and more out here who are suggesting more herbal, homeopathic.
But you gotta do your homework.
Right. Like my doctor can, you know, I think she might have been a DO, but not like one of those really spiritual DOs. I think she might have been an MD. Can't remember. MD, I do believe. There is a difference. A doctor of osteopathy versus an MD. It's pretty much their medical philosophies. But in any case, I was having horrible hot flashes. And she was like, oh, yeah, just go to Whole Foods and get this ground black cohosh. And it's really kind of nasty, so they put it in a gelatin pill, so you can just get it and take it like a vitamin. And I took that shit, and it was like, woo, I can see clearly now. I'm cabbage patching and shit, not breaking out in the sweats and shit. Just extremely, like, it just, like, went poof. And then come several years later, when I started practicing, finding out that it's black snake root. So, a lot of the things that we do are put into tiny little capsules for people to take. And sometimes that's, a good thing, but even mixing certain natural supplements can be poisonous. So, like, I don't even know, like, if they have a database where you can type in everything you're taking or wanting to take, and it could give you, like, any interactions, or is that only something that the pharmacy has?
I don't.
Because it should be something like that, especially for herbal. Like, if I'm going to drink an herbal tea and I'm taking a pharmaceutical, I'm going to need to know how this shit works together. Depending, because I'll drink a lot of herbal tea.
But most of the time you ask your pharmacist, can I take this with this?
Yeah, but you don't walk up there and say, can I have mugwort, some mint, pepper, some lavender, a little bit of valerian, and some echinacea. Can I put all that in a tea and drink that and take this? You don't do that.
No, because they'll look at you like, what are you doing?
Right. Alana, I got that you can Google it. And what will happen, it's a lot like hoodoo recipes. This herb, when put together with this herb, does this thing. But this same herb put together with this herb over here does something different, okay? And that different shit could be life and death, okay?
You're taking a prescription that...
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It's over here with this. Right. This herbal mixture is over here with this, and it's cool. But this herbal mixture is over here with other stuff, it ain't cool. And that's it's really hard to navigate, so, and I'll be honest, personally, I just take, like, things holistically as they say they work. I don't get on the horn to the pharmacy and be like, am I gonna die? Because, I mean, none of the herbs that I have here, to the best of my knowledge, mixed with any other herb is lethal. I don't think we have anything like that. Do you?
In general, no.
Right. But like, are there 3 common witchcraft herbs that you could mix together and they would make something lethal?
No.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. But there are certain singular herbs that are made into a tea that are deadly.
For individuals, like, okay, you're taking this type of prescription.
Yeah, no, I'm just talking about herbal interactions, because we can't be responsible for any of it.
We have,
that's why I don't tell people this is for topical use only. And what's really funny, especially with stuff like the Yanni stuff. If I was going to do a Yanni steam, I would test that on my skin first.
I would too.
On my hand, right. I'm gonna test this on like the back of your wrist.
I don't want no problem with them.
Exactly, because people take more time testing their sensitivity for
hair dye
than they do the herbs and stuff that they use. That's not a good thing. Yeah,
because they assume it's natural.
Yeah.
But
I'm just wondering if you can
always fire is natural.
Yeah, fire is natural. Burns the fuck out of you. I'm not jumping into a fire. So we had about 20 people. Now we're about down to 8 people, and I'm tired. That's, if I can't drink, because Ashley, she was talking about that in detail earlier. If I can't drink it, I ain't gonna steam it. And my whole thing is, why do I have the time to stand coochie hanging over anything and I can just drink it? I don't understand. Maybe that's because I'm lazy.
I don't understand how their body works.
But look, I understood it more when people said it was more spiritual than, it was bigger than just medicinal purposes. I got with that. You
It's
know,
the same way though if you rub it on.
I understand that. Some people just like it through the coochie, I guess. I don't know. I don't do it. I just put it on my body. I'm not going to put it in my body unless it's edible and I've made sure I don't kill myself. But there have been known incidents where people have made herbal teas and off themselves by accident.
Mm-hmm.
So it happened back in the 70s when I was a kid. I read it in my grandfather's prevention magazine. They found him at the kitchen table dead from herbal tea. And I'm like, fuck. And I'm telling y'all, I didn't drink herbal tea until I was an adult because of it. I only drank Lipton. Like, that was better for me. I'm thinking, I don't want to die. Oh, and now I love herbal teas. Okay, have a great night, you guys. I'll talk to you later.